Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Maddie Shipka with Community Calendar, and Liz Gillespie with sports. Thank you for joining us. A Burlington man who was arrested in 2018 for possession of child pornography has admitted guilt to one of the charges he faced in what looks like a plea bargain agreement. William Gates, 41, a former civilian employee of the Hanscom Air Force Base and a former chaperone for Burlington Cub Scout Pack, pleaded guilty yesterday in federal court in Boston in connection with possessing thousands of files depicting child pornography, including a manual titled How to Practice Child Love. According to the U.S. District Court in Boston, Gates pleaded guilty to one count of possession of child pornography. U.S. District Court Judge Leo Sorokin scheduled sentencing for July 17, 2019. In September 2018, Gates was arrested and subsequently released on conditions. Local police were tipped off about Gates by Australian authorities who were monitoring a website known for hosting illegal content. They observed a user of the site posting photographs of and comments regarding an approximately 6-year-old boy on a school bus, who the user identified as a child on a field trip that the user was chaperoning. Police were able to trace the account activity to IP addresses assigned to Gates' home in Burlington and to Hanscom Air Force Base, where Gates was a civilian employee at the time. During an interview with law enforcement in early December 2017, Gates admitted that he used his iPhone to take some of the photographs while chaperoning a field trip to the zoo with his son's elementary school. After Gates provided written consent, law enforcement conducted a preliminary exam of 2 of the defendant's digital devices and found 5,000 images and 440 videos of child pornography. The charging statute provides for a sentence of no greater than 20 years in prison, a minimum of 5 years, and up to a lifetime of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000. The Burlington Fire Department responded to a fire of some solar panels on a residential home and were able to quickly knock down the blaze before it spread to the home. Captain Robert Paul said the call came in at around 12:11 p.m. on Wednesday for a fire on the roof of a Hillcrest Road home. He said fortunately a driver of a trash truck that was collecting bags of yard waste noticed the fire on the roof solar panels and notified the owner, who immediately called 911. Firefighters raced to the scene and found the solar panels on the front of the house ablaze. Captain Paul said it was a quick knockdown and firefighters were able to contain the fire to the panels before it extended to the home. Captain Paul said he could not say if the fire was caused by a malfunction of the solar panels without having someone from the company that manufactures them do an inspection. However, he did say it was possible that squirrels nesting in the panels may have played a role by chewing on a wire. At the very least, as they were working the scene, they saw a nest and 2 adult squirrels moving baby squirrels off the roof and into a nearby tree. Thankfully, nobody was injured, including the squirrels. In other firefighter news, the Burlington Department employed its tower truck on Friday morning to get an injured worker off the roof of a Burlington restaurant. Captain Jim Sorensen said that at 9:33 a.m. they received a call for a worker with a back injury on roof of Landana on Cambridge Street. When firefighters arrived, led by Lieutenant Jim Brown, they were told the man had pulled his back or had his back go out on him while working on the roof and was unable to use the ladder to get himself down. After reviewing the scene, Lieutenant Brown called for the ladder truck, which soon arrived on the scene. With the help of police who cordoned off the area to give firefighters space to work, they got the bucket of the tower up on the roof. The worker was able to crawl inside, and they lowered him to a stretcher waiting in the parking lot below. Captain Sorensen said it was a smooth operation and commended both the firefighters and the police officers on the scene for an efficient and prompt rescue. Thanks to approval by town meeting for $120,000 in 2017, the Burlington Police Department now has a new, improved, safer, updated firing range. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford went to check it out and has this look.
Members of the Burlington Police Department, both newer recruits and long-serving veterans, have been training hard in the department's shooting range. However, this important training was almost sidetracked by safety concerns. 2 years ago, the department was given warning by safety inspectors that the conditions of the range were becoming untenable. In response, the department sought and was granted roughly $120,000 in funds from town meeting to address the conditions of the range.
The first was the steel trap. What happened on the end of the range was that there was steel, and the rounds hit the steel and then got buried down in the trap. Now it's a rubber trap, so it's much safer. There was a hazmat problem with the steel trap because the steel got bent and warped. And it's much safer for us to have the shoot into the rubber tires. And we can always use all different kinds of weapons as well. We can use our less lethal down here with no problems. We can use a rifle and the pistol and still use shotgun. So it really is it's a fantastic range now.
The funds were also used to make the range much more modern and effective in training.
When this was built in 1992, it was rated for shotgun and for pistol. And that became pretty much outdated in a number of years. So we've asked to have this certified for rifle. So now we have a new trap, new ceilings, a new wall. And what that does, it enables us to shoot rifle in here, as well as when we qualify outside. But now we can use flashlight work with the rifle. It's really a great training tool for us, is that we can now use rifle down here with flashlights and get a lot of good training down here. These targets also move. There's separate lights on the targets. This is really a state-of-the-art range now. That is really one of the best ranges around. We're very happy to have this.
The newly improved range also employs new technologies that can create different conditions to improve the quality of training.
It's wireless right now, so we can set these lanes up. These targets can spin. They can do a shoot, don't shoot. We can move them back and forth. There's red, white, and blue lights on these targets, so we can actually make it look like there's cruiser lights, or there's other lights as far as a distracting thing for the officers to worry about or look into while they're shooting for better concentration. So it really enables us to do so many various scenarios here for our lethal training.
Finally, the new range and all of its technology is meant to prepare officers for anything they might encounter and will help them be ready to both protect themselves and the public.
Well, it's 2019, and we know what's going on nationwide and worldwide with use of force, and we have to be trained at the highest level that we can, and this enables us to do that. We can run all these different the scenarios at our offices. We do a lot of shoot, don't shoot. We don't want our guys to fire the weapon, so we want those incidents and trainings to happen here. So we give everybody so many different training movements and scenarios that when they occur and come across anything out in the road, they're going to have it happen down here first. And that's what our goal is, to make sure that our officers are properly prepared for anything that happens out in the street.
From the Burlington Police Department, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
Students at Burlington High School have been learning all about drones, from how to code them to how to fly them. On Friday, April 5th, members of the public were invited to BHS to learn about how the students have been applying the technology to their education, and were treated to a demonstration of the drones in flight. BNews reporter Chris Flaherty was in attendance and files this report.
The Red Devils are taken to the skies. Over the past year, Burlington High School students have been learning the ins and outs of drone technology. Leroy Wong, instructional technology specialist at BHS, spoke on how a former student sparked the interest in drones at the school.
Started off with a toy drone that he actually gifted to me, which is very nice, before he had graduated. And then it just became me sort of researching it, figuring out, like, okay, what's the price point where I could get at least one, or maybe, like, of the paired drones, we got a couple as a start. So it was a good start, but I think just to use it with, like, larger groups, you really need more.
Wong explained how through a grant from the organization MassQ, or Massachusetts Computer Using Educators, allowed the school to acquire more drones. Students thus far have learned drone photography and video basics, and will continue to expand on those in the near future.
I think we're at the point now with some senior interns I'll be working with. They want to make kind of like a promotional video of the school. So I think we'll have like some good aerial photography and videography of the school. And we have a company called Gravic, where a pilot will be coming and showing them the things that you have to do to actually plan for like a photo or video shoot. We worked a little bit with the photography program and the photography club, But again, like, being New England, it's only just recently started to warm up to the point where hopefully we can kind of reconnect with them and, do some things with them.
Friday, April 5th, members of the public were invited to BHS to learn more about the drones students are using and were given a chance to see them in action.
Just wanted to give them a little bit of an overview of it, just have them understand kind of just the origins of our drone program, how it kind of got started, and it really was, frankly, like sort of student led, from their interest in drones. I hope they enjoyed it and had a good time just getting an understanding of the program, trying to code the drones and have them fly, in our lower library. Then going out for a little bit and trying out, our Mavic drone, seeing how that works, and then looking at some of the photos and the videos and the capabilities of it. So yeah, so I'm hoping it was a good event. I think it's just going to be something that will probably continue to grow, not just with us, but I think probably other school districts, colleges, whatever, because it seems like it's a growing field.
As students continue to learn more about drones, the hope is to expand their usage to other departments and programs in the school while exploring additional features the technology has to offer.
Yeah, I think, just continuing to work with other departments here, other disciplines. So I think physics would be like a natural discipline. We're going to start maybe looking at, GIS, or I guess, geographical information systems. I'm not sure if I have that right, but basically kind of mapping. That's like a growing field where you can have drones fly over an area and then just with certain software map those areas, even have kind of a 3D map that you would see in, Google Maps or something like that. Anybody that, is either watching this program or just people that find out more about it, I'm happy to talk about it. Happy to just share ideas and figure out, how we can kind of make it part of the curriculum and just, see where we can go from here.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Very cool. Roadwork in neighboring Wilmington may affect Burlington commuters starting next week. The Burlington Police Department shared a Facebook post from Wilmington's Department of Public Works that says they will be grinding and resurfacing Middlesex Avenue, Woburn Street, Hillside Way, starting at 7 a.m. on Thursday, April 25th. Hillside Way, Burlington Police point out, is at the end of Mill Street in Burlington. Wilmington DPW says that there will be road closures and detours due to the work. The event may also be postponed in the event of inclement weather. The Burlington Parks and Recreation Department held their annual Easter egg hunt at Simons Park for young children and their families. BNews reporter Robert Paris was there and files this report.
Ready, set, go. On Thursday, April 18th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department held their annual Easter egg hunt at Simons Park.
So we've got our Easter egg hunt. So we've got 3 different zones going depending on the age, and once 5:30 hits, we'll sound off a horn and everyone can go and get some Easter eggs. After that, the bunny's going to be joining us and people can get their photos with the bunny, and we'll have some crafts and games.
There were a numerous amount of eggs around the area.
So the eggs are more scattered about, so that it only takes about an hour to kind of actually just throw them and make sure they're scattered appropriately.
Finally, everyone at the Parks and Recreation Department hoped everyone had an excellent time.
Once the horn sounds and the kids run out, get their eggs, I think they're all going to be super excited. It's only going to take about 5 minutes and all the eggs are going to be gone, but hopefully everyone has a blast.
From Simons Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Weekly.
Another excellent report by Robert. Observing the ever-changing patterns of birds is a science and a habitual pastime. Examining avian in their array of contours, colors, playfulness, and labors can be a source of whimsy, and it can be as simple as looking in your own backyard. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak has Your Eye on Nature segment.
The birds are back in Burlington, and our BNews Eye on Nature segment has easy ways to enjoy our local avian. Burlington resident Michael Trudeau gave a bird feeder to his wife this past Christmas.
All of a sudden, I'm looking out the window and I'm seeing all these birds, and they're fascinating. And so I just fell into it. And being a photographer, my natural instinct was just to grab a camera, slap on a telephoto lens So I just started snapping away and away and away. And before I knew it, I had shot a couple of thousand pictures, and some of them were really quite good. And the more I got into it, the more I got into it.
Right down the road is another locale for amateur ornithologists, Wilburn's Horn Pond.
We just went over to take a walk around Horn Pond for exercise, and we saw all these birds, all this waterfowl that's very used to having people around it, and you can walk right up to them. So we started going over there as well. So you got the backyard birds, the songbirds that are shy, very fast moving, and you got the birds over at Horn Pond that are large and not shy at all.
Mike was good enough to give me a show and tell on attracting birds to your own backyard.
So we got a wild bird seed, and that seemed to be good. Online, people talking about what's called oil black sunflower seed, and that birds really like it. We've got a bag of that, and birds really like it. What we have over here is called suet. It's kind of a cake of bird seed put together with vegetable shortening or things like that, so that it's kind of a solid mass. Woodpeckers like that more than they like your house. And the woodpeckers are beautiful birds. On the bird feeders, on the pole that I have out here, I put it up high. I got extenders so that I can see it from the windows in the house. That's chickadee. And halfway up, a couple of feet up off the ground, is what's called a squirrel baffle, because squirrels can actually climb a pole even that thin. They'll climb up, but they can get inside that baffle and they can't get around it. And the bird feeders themselves are spring-loaded, so that if a squirrel got up onto the perches, their weight will pull down the cage that covers over the feeding slots. I'm really new at this. I'm not an expert. If you want to get into this, do it. It's fascinating.
Easy as taking a walk or just looking out the window. Burlington birding is a great way to keep an eye on nature. From the Trudeau residence and Horn Pond, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
We've had rain, sunny skies, wind, and calm, sometimes all on the same day, typical of New England. It's spring in New England for sure, or spinter, spring and winter somewhere in the middle. To see what's in store for the week ahead, we go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. And I know it's hard to believe we're already in the third week of April. It's really hard to believe that we've gotten this far into spring already. And starting out our period on Friday, look at this. We are going to see highs in the low 70s. Now, you're probably thinking, is that going to come with a lot of bright sunshine and nice warm weather out there? Well, it is going to be warm, but the sunshine is not going to be a go for us, unfortunately. And that's going to be another trend we're going to see coming up this week. A lot of wet weather to come. So the April showers do keep coming. But that's going to also, though, keep our temperatures at night. If you have to be out and about in the Burlington area at night, Friday night into Saturday morning, look at this. Temperatures only getting down into the mid-50s. So pretty pleasant out there. You're going to have to bring the umbrella with you, but definitely not chilly. Well above our average highs, which are only supposed to be around 60 for this time of the year. And, of course, as we head towards the end of the period, look at this, getting into almost the end of April. Our average highs are supposed to be in the low 60s, and we're actually going to be about average or a little bit above for most of this period. So that's something nice to look forward to. And, of course, as you notice out there, the days just keep getting longer and longer. So let's take a look at what we're expecting for our temps and precip coming up the next 7 days or so here in the Burlington area. And as we go ahead, we're going to take a look at our precip first from the Climate Prediction Center. And up in our area, looks like it's going to be expecting about an average chance of our precipitation. So this seems to be saying that we're not going to see too much rain. However, I don't really agree with that. We're going to have to really keep an eye on Saturday, as we could have a pretty potent system here with several inches of rain coming our way. It looks like, though, most of the country is going to be fairly wet coming up for the next 7 days. Now, as we go ahead and look at the expected temperature departures coming up, this is going to be something you're really going to like if you like warm weather. Look at this. just about everywhere in the country, including us here in the Burlington area and the rest of New England, expecting above average temperatures as we head into this third week of April. So there's really no cold weather to be found anywhere in the lower 48. You'll have to travel up to Alaska to see those below average temperatures. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look at some of our weather and temps coming up for the next 7 days. And we're going to detail again. This looks very similar to what we saw last week, a chance of rain almost every single day in the period. However, you're going to notice, look at the temperatures all the way through, right through next Thursday. About average or actually above, so very nice. And again, starting out up here on Friday, we are going to see maybe some small breaks of sunshine during the day, but mostly a solid chance of rain. But temperatures, look at this, in the low 70s again. Now, getting on to Saturday, I think we're being a little bit generous by putting the sunshine in here. I think it's going to be pretty cloud covered out there, and we may actually see some thunderstorms on Saturday as we see a very warm and humid air mass moving up into the Burlington area, and that could bring some really torrential rain, maybe some flash flooding to our area, so keep an eye out if you have to be out shopping or you're going anywhere on Saturday. Now, getting into our Easter Sunday, looks like it's again chance of rain again, so we really can't shake those showers, but again, temperatures fairly pleasant in the mid-60s. We get into Monday, no surprise, chance of rain again, but temperatures again getting back up near 70. Now, as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to try and dry it out here a little bit in the Burlington area, and again, temperatures are going to cool down a little bit, but about what they should be at this time of the year, right around 60. And look at this, no shock again on Thursday. Chance of rain moves into the area again, but temperatures again climbing up to near 70. So, folks, get out there, stay dry, and enjoy the weather.
Hi, my name is Melody, and I'm a junior Girl Scout. I would like you to think about what I'm about to tell you. Did you know that over 1 million marine animals, including sea turtles, are killed each year due to plastic trash in the ocean? When you use a single plastic disposable straws, you are directly impacting the lives and deaths of sea turtles. Turtles are being harmed by plastic straws getting up their noses. They also choke on them and swallow the plastic, which leads to their deaths. Scientists at the UGA New Materials Institute held a study which discovered tiny plastic particles smaller than the dust or powdered sugar inside baby sea turtles. Out of all the turtles observed on the study, we have found to eat in plastic. These baby sea turtles were likely dying due to eating plastic pollution. This could play a big part of the turtles becoming extinct. So next time you pick up some takeout, please consider leaving the straw behind. It will mean keeping our oceans a bit cleaner and saving the lives of our sea turtles. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your Community Calendar. Should you move or improve? On Thursday, April 25th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., the Cadillac Realty Group will be having a class called Move or Improve. This class is for anyone who's thinking about buying or selling a home. Topics that will be discussed are how much does it cost to transform your home, what does it cost to move, and much more. Everyone is welcome. To register, visit CadillacRealtyGroup.com/register. Watch as current and past champion team members of the New England Patriots take on the Burlington Boosters All-Stars in an exciting game you wouldn't want to miss. On April 25th, the Burlington Athletic Boosters Club will be having a basketball fundraiser featuring the New England Patriots. The event will be held at the Burlington High School Gymnasium, and doors will open at 6:30 p.m. and the event begins at 7. Everyone is welcome. For ticket information, call 781-277-5026. Come for a special night as BCAT reflects on the past year of fantastic volunteer-produced programming. On Friday, April 26th, from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m., BCAT will be having their annual meeting and appreciation awards night. The event will be held at the Heritage Park Baptist Church Function Hall. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit bcattv.org. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this has been your Community Calendar.
It's underway, and the Red Devils teams are playing hard. For the latest action, we go to Liz Gillespie for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie for your weekly sports report. Burlington High teams have started the spring season, and during school vacation week, the Red Devils are certainly staying busy. The Red Devils baseball team lost their home opener against the Woburn Tanners. We were there and have some highlights. Check them out.
It was a breezy spring day for the Burlington Red Devils baseball team, as they had their home opener against the Woburn Tanners at Francis Wyman Elementary School. The Red Devils allowed the Tanners to take a 3-0 lead in the top of the first. In the second, Woburn put more points on the scoreboard with an additional 2 runs, 5-0. Later on, the Tanners got another 2 runs in favor of the Red Devils, 7-0. Burlington eventually got on the scoreboard late in the bottom of the 5th and the final inning.
Grounded by O'Hell, gets through by the first baseman.
The Red Devils fall to the Woburn Tanners 7-2 in their home opener. The Red Devils will travel to Cambridge to take on the Falcons on Wednesday, April 17th at 10 a.m.
On a brighter note, they did take home a W this week after playing the Winchester Sachems on Wednesday. Alex Demides had 2 solo home runs. The final score was 4-2. The team will have another road game against the Wilmington Wildcats on Thursday, April 25th at 4 p.m. On Tuesday, the boys lacrosse team took home a victory against the Arlington Spy Ponders 15-8. The team will travel to Newburyport and take on the Clippers on Friday, April 19th at 11 a.m. On Wednesday, the Lady Devils lacrosse team lost a tough one on the road to the Bedford Buccaneers 17-9. The Lady Devils will travel to the city to take on Boston Latin on Friday. The Lady Devils softball team took on the Winchester Sachems on Wednesday. The team managed to outscore their opponents 11-5 in the win. They will stay at home for a few days as they play Wakefield Memorial on Tuesday, April 23rd at Marvin Field at 4 p.m. Finally, the boys and girls tennis teams and the boys and girls track team will be playing their games after April vacation. Boys and girls tennis both have a match against the Wilmington Wildcats on Tuesday, April 23rd at 4 p.m. The Red Devils will play at Wilmington, while the Lady Devils will play at Rahanis. Girls track and boys track will have their home games against the Stoneham Spartans at Varsity Field on Tuesday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Boys will compete on Tuesday and girls will compete on Wednesday. That is all for your weekly sports report. I'm Liz Gillespie. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Liz. Another week, another photo to highlight. This week we have a photo showing a feathery visitor to Burlington's Town Common. Of course, they're everywhere, not just in the Town Common. It was sent in by Marcy Rose and shows a wild turkey enjoying last Saturday's warm weather by hanging out near the Town Common gazebo. It seems like everyone likes a day at the park when the sun is out. Thanks for the photo, Marcy. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, whether outside your own door, or even photos of your family members, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share with us and the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Ted Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris. Peter Brown with the weather, Liz Gillespie with sports, Maddie Shipka with the community calendar. Please have a happy and safe Passover and Easter. Thank you for joining us.